Hey, this is Notser, and this is the Tier 9 Premium Japanese Battleship Musashi. The Musashi, the sister ship to the Yamato, the Tier 10 in the Japanese line, will cost 920,000 free XP. That is an extremely expensive ship. It's probably going to be equivalent, if you bought it all outright, 150, 175 US dollars. That's a big jump up from the Missouri, which costs 750,000 free XP. And unfortunately, this will be replacing the Missouri as the free XP Tier 9 in the tech tree when it's introduced in 7.2 or 7.3. The reason this review exists is because Wargaming has said to all the community contributors, we're done, the stats are pretty much final, you can discuss it freely. And I would say to that, that's unfortunate because it is just an insane cost compared to the Missouri. I would not buy this at all if I had a choice between this and the Missouri. Unfortunately, we won't have that choice soon. The Missouri is a ship that is more compelling, it has radar, better credit income potential because it's just a more well-rounded, better AA protection, it's got a lower citadel. Yes, it doesn't have quite the health pool or the gun caliber, but you play it right, you angle it right, it can do just as well, if not better, in 99% of the cases. But this ship is a Tier 9 Yamato, and that is very compelling for some players. And that's cool. But if you are not in love with the Japanese, the value is just not there compared to the Missouri. 920 is the same cost as going up a full battleship line when it's first introduced. You could theoretically use that 920,000 free XP that you would spend on this ship for the French battleship line that will probably be out 1 or 2 months later. It's really hard to justify this ship when you compare it to the Missouri. If this was the first premium Tier 9, sure, I could justify it. It's a premium Tier 9. It's got great credit income. It is great at commander retraining. And it's going to play just like the Tier 10. It's a more natural progression versus the Izumo. The Izumo is very ugly duckling-like. This is not. It will probably be in Wargaming's best interest to try and introduce some sort of prototype Yamato at Tier 9. I'm sure they wish they did. It would be easier for players to continue to stick it out. They probably have some funny stat where most people free XP the Izumo. And that's unfortunate. You model it, you spend the time developing the gameplay, but it's just really awkward. That number 3 gun is traversing opposite of the front 2. Not like the Nelson, which is much easier to use, much more compelling gameplay because of that. This gameplay has been in the game since day one. It's the Yamato. It's just at Tier 9. It's weaker, which is justifiable. But it's a Tier 9 Yamato, and it is very effective at getting that damage. Maybe not protecting the team or protecting yourself from aircraft, but the guns work very well. And she takes just as much as she gives. This enemy Yamato shoved in a ton of damage. We killed him. And I'm waiting for my health pool. Oh, I want my heal so bad. And it's got everything that you expect. You know, tons of aircraft in the hangar. It's got the ability to heal, just like the Yamato. Nothing's different there. That turret traverse is horrendous. It's very difficult to use. Everything that you expect is there. So from my standpoint, it's cool, but it's not 920,000 cool. If at some point in the future, and they just did the holiday season where they had a lot of free XP on sale, if you could get a discount on all this stuff, yeah, this is great. It's a great premium for the Japanese. It's probably the best premium for the Japanese because it plays like the tier 10. But there's a lot more than just the battleship for the Japanese. There's every other tech tree line, and I think it's just better value to get the Missouri if you had to choose right now. I enjoyed my time with it. I didn't have any issue with it. Its accuracy was a little bit worse, but you're not really gonna notice that. The rate of fire is worse. The AA protection is worse. But you gotta just play. You can't change your play style because everything's just worse. It's just a tier 9. It's not supposed to be as good as the tier 10. And it will never be as good as the tier 10 Yamato. And my team is just insane in their blunders. And I make a blunder here too. I tell a teammate that he can go ahead and take out the enemy destroyer when there's no reason to do that. But, you know, I was hooked on the damage. We did a fantastic amount of damage to the enemy team, and it was extremely exciting to experience the ship in that manner. Big guns are big guns. They're going to work for you if you can aim, and if you play right, you shouldn't have any issue with the ship. I hope it was enjoyable to see her in action. You'll have an opportunity to purchase her probably into February. That would be my guess. Who knows, though? Many things can happen. There have been a lot of premiums that have been a go, no-go situation, and this was less than 24 hours warning that they were going to finalize the stats and release it, so I apologize if this is a little rushed. I hope the information was useful. I hope my playstyle and the gameplay was interesting, and it painted a picture that you could take and decide for yourself if it was a ship worthy of your port. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I'll catch you next time.